Hello, welcome to Good Morning Glendale. I'm Robert Heidt, President and CEO of the Glendale Chamber of Commerce. And today with me, I have Dr. Theresa Leyba Ruiz, the President of Glendale Community College, and also our 2022 Chair-elect for the Glendale Chamber. Welcome, Terry. How are you?
I am good. Thanks for having me. I look forward to having conversation with you.
No, thank you. So first and foremost, for those that may not have gotten a chance to meet you, you're a pretty dynamic leader here in our community. Would you just share a few words or kind of comments about who you are and where you got to in the current position you have, how you got there?
Sure. So I am a longtime educator. I've been an educator for 30 years, 23 years in the classroom teaching mathematics, starting from 7th grade to high school to the community college. And so I taught 16 years at South Mountain Community College. And when I realized I wanted to become a college president, I mean, that's a long journey, right? From a faculty member to a college president. And along the way, I earned my credentials, my doctoral degree in higher and post-secondary education from ASU, and lots of professional development programs. And then just made the transition, from faculty member to a department chair, to a dean, to an associate vice president, to a vice president, and finally to have the immense privilege and honor of serving as the 8th president of Glendale Community College.
Well, we're lucky to have you here as another fellow community leader in Glendale and for the West Valley. So one of the things at GCC, you have an amazing GCC Cares, and certainly world-class facility, great student programs, a connection to the community. You're involved certainly with us at the Chamber and many other great organizations. So it really shows that you and the entire faculty and staff of the campus are going the extra mile to engage, to provide the best experience for students. Would you tell us a little bit more about the services that you provide outside of a quality education?
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to talk about that. I'm going to come back to the motto that we have, the GCC Cares, because that model really encapsulates everything we do at GCC, from our online tutoring services as we live in this remote world. All of our tutoring has gone online. Our tutors were fabulous in doing that. Our online we use Cranium Cafe to help support our students in the enrollment process. We have a food pantry that we're really proud of, and the support not only of our internal college faculty and staff, but our external community. The support has been tremendous because we all recognize that students are trying to earn a college degree or certificate or transfer to a university. But there's always that underlying food insecurity that nationwide students are suffering from. And that's not always top of mind for people outside of higher education, that college students might actually be suffering from food insecurities, and not something we normally equate. So we're really proud of our food pantry that we have to support our students. We partner with St. Mary's Food Bank so that we're able to distribute food boxes, not only to our internal students, but to the community.
Nice.
We believe very strongly that our role as a community college is not only to serve our students, but to serve our community as well. So the St. Mary's Food Bank is a wonderful opportunity to do that. As of course, we've offered COVID testing, not only here at the main campus on Olive, but at our North Campus on 59th Avenue and Happy Valley Road. And we're excited to be able to offer these services to the community.
Well, I think that sets you apart from community colleges across the nation, is that you're really caring to connect with the community in a way that, sometimes gets lost because we get into the minutia of what we all do every single day. So for some of those folks who may not be familiar, how many programs do you offer there at the community college or certificate programs?
Oh my goodness, Robert, I knew you were going to ask that. I'm going to say it's somewhere around 100 different certificates and degrees, and which is really important, the distinction. So if a student just wants to earn a certificate, and I'm going to pick on something, I'll say paramedicine. So they can earn a certificate in paramedicine, which is different from a degree in paramedicine. And the degree has all the general education components with it. And so that's really geared for somebody who wants to transfer to a university, earn a 4-year degree. So between our certificates and degrees, we have roughly 100 of them.
That's amazing. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. I do know that there's you all and the entire team that you have focus on a quality education experience for the students. What is that like? If I was a brand new, ready to head into Glendale Community College, what is that like? What can one expect?
Wow. So let me brag for a minute about our what we call Gaucho 101. This is our first year experience for our students. And so for our brand new students, this is your first time coming to GCC, whether it's virtually, because we'll help you virtually, or whether it's stepping onto our campus, we have a whole first year experience wrapped around you with our Gaucho 101 team. They're our first year advisors. They do everything from helping you get admitted, making sure you have access to financial aid, and then of course that first semester of advising. And then it expands beyond that. So across Maricopa Community College District, we have what we call 9 fields of interest. So a student could say, well, I think I'm interested in, let's say, in the STEM fields. I think I want to be an engineer. So we put you in the STEM field of interest, or we call it a FOI. And in that FOI has all the important pieces that the student needs to be successful. You have an admissions and records person, financial aid, faculty advisor, you have an academic advisor, you have access to tutoring, and even a librarian. There's this whole team built around that field of interest. Now, if a student says, and there's specific classes to take, but they say, well, I decided I don't really want to be an engineer. I think I want to study chemistry instead. No problem. To make that quick transition. Now, if a student says, you know what, forget this business. I think I want to study creative writing. That's okay. We'll put you in another field of interest that is geared to support you and your academic goals. So that's really something we're really proud of at Glendale Community College, is even though the district has these standard 9 fields of interest, the services we wrap around the students at Glendale Community College, to me, is a standout among our sister colleges.
To me, it's refreshing. I'm the chamber guy, so we're all business, as you know, and that's the future workforce. So knowing that you all take great care and compassion in trying to, immerse the system around those future leaders, it says a lot, because sometimes you head down path A and realize it's not for you, but maybe you along your journey, you realize you want to go in another direction. So the support system is great, because again, that helps us to get a quality workforce that our businesses and our growth can continue to call upon. So kudos to you and Glendale Community College team for doing that. So 2 thoughts before I switch gears. One is, I commend GCC on your engagement with social media. It's a world that we all have to find ourselves in, but you do a phenomenal job. So thank you for all that you do with that. It's great because, again, it allows people to get connected, even so they may not, and learn about the college. And then just recently, I was over at the campus with you, and something I have to compliment you on, and it really, I think it goes to the fiber and the fabric of who you are as an educator, as a leader, as a professional. But what you told a student, where I wasn't eavesdropping, but I was kind of listening as part of the conversation, they were kind of pondering what they were going to do, and they're working multiple jobs, and you said, follow your heart and your passion, and the money and the fortune, the fame will come. And, when I heard you say that, I could not agree with you more. So it really shows that the heart is there. So again, I thank you for that, because those are the workforce. That's what we need in a chamber. So thank you, Terry, for that.
Oh, absolutely. I really believe that, in all my years of teaching, it's always the same message to the students. Don't worry about, the job that you think is going to bring you the most money. If it doesn't bring you happiness, then what's the point? And we want our people to be happy, right? We want our students to be happy, and it makes for a great and a better workforce.
It is. And, having mentors and kind of people that they look up to, guide them, makes a big difference. So thank you for what you do. Changing gears.
Sure.
COVID-19 came about a year ago, this month, rocked our world. You had a robust campus. Every time I came over, it was people and activity. And then all of a sudden, and you had to convert to online and digital. What has COVID done to change the way GCC is operating and engaging and keeping those students in the future workforce engaged?
Well, it's challenged us. I think, all of us, right? Not just education, but It's challenged us to think about how we serve students and what's the best way to serve our students. And immediately, and it's awful to think of this, you're right, Robert, it was exactly a year ago. I was actually coming home from a conference in Seattle, like today, a year ago, and thinking, cases were just starting to happen in Seattle, and we were starting to get a lot of news. And I remember thinking, oh, I can't wait to get home to Phoenix. These people are buying up cleaning supplies in the grocery stores. And little did we know, 2 weeks later,
We're the same thing.
and it was shut down the college. And I remember that last day on campus, everybody was, because then our spring break happened, and it was this immediate transition, and it felt so sad being on campus and being one of the last persons to leave the campus as we went into total shutdown mode. But it's challenged us to think about how do we continue to serve our students and serve our community in this environment. And so immediately we went into proactive mode. What do our students need? Our students need access to devices, and they need access to Wi-Fi. So living within the parameters of a closed campus, how do we get these devices into the hands of our students? And then it seemed like it was one challenge after the next. Now, at the same time, once we were able to reopen partially, there were some classes that just couldn't go online. That's just, the way it was. They went hybrid, or they did have to stay in person. And so examples could be our automotive technology program, an incredible program. We have partnerships with Ford, Chrysler, and GM. We couldn't convert that completely. So how do we keep people safe while bringing people to campus? And so it was the immediate buying of supplies, the plexiglass, the hand sanitizers, the masks, not only, the disposable masks, but we also got GCC Cares masks so we could hand those out to students. And there was a real concern that, maybe the community wouldn't quite support us, and, we might have a mask mandate, but maybe, or facial coverings, but maybe not everybody would agree to that. But everybody, the community, the students, everybody has been extremely supportive, because we want to keep students safe. Our paramedic program, our nursing program, we create heroes here at GCC. These are individuals who are on the front line. And so we want to keep people safe so they can go out and do that. And so now when you come to campus, as you saw when you were here last week, we have hand sanitizer stations. So when you walk into a building, we want you to feel safe, so that when you come here, you know that we have your best interest in mind.
Well, you definitely are setting the example, because as you know, I walked in and I sent you a picture of it, but immediately as soon as you open the handle, there's a hand station touchless. You can clean your hands right away. But the more that we see organizations like the campus and others making those proactive steps, it just helps that consumer confidence for people to get up and get out and go. And as we continue to curtail, working through the virus and that sort of thing, but you certainly did not miss a beat. And also, I'll thank you for your leadership in working to bring the community together for a digital divide conversation. You led the charge for the West Valley, for Glendale. You brought many partners together. You partner with our local school districts, the universities, you name it. And that speaks to who GCC is and who you are as the president of GCC. So thank you for all that you're doing to keep up. Pivoting just to another area, our arts and culture are certainly impactful over there at the college. You want to speak to that just a little bit of what that means to you and the campus?
Absolutely. So, we are a comprehensive community college. So we have the academics, we have the athletics, we also have a vibrant performing arts department and a vibrant visual arts department. And so, we're so proud of so many things. Our classical guitarists, I don't know if you've ever heard our classical guitarists, they are award-winning, they've traveled the world. These are students who come to us, and we have a strong program that promotes them. Their music is beautiful. So that's something we're really proud of. And even in this COVID environment, in virtual environment, they've still been able to perform, albeit, we're not able to pack ourselves into the Performing Arts Center. It's virtual, but they're still able to share their beautiful music. And then there's our dance department. They just, last week, they put on a dance performance outside of the Performing Arts building, so in the open air. So that was exciting. Our art students and digital arts and cinematography and the things that they create I don't know that the community is fully aware of all of the programs we offer here. Well, a quick story. When we were, just like this time a year ago, I was invited into one of our, into the art department to see one of their classes. And I was talking to students and they were creating beautiful ceramic art. I just happened to say something about, oh, wow, this is incredible. This is, like your first class. And the older student said to me, oh, no, this is my 6th time taking the class.
Wow.
No. And that speaks to, I think how comfortable the students feel. They're able to learn about their art, practice their art, have the mentorship of the faculty there, and they're there to create. And I think that's something that makes me really proud, is that our students are creating. They're creating art, they're creating music, they're creating their future right here at GCC. And what an honor to be part of their journey.
Well, I love it. And again, as a chamber, we're fortunate to have a great partnership with you because, obviously we work with many different businesses, different industry segments, and the fact that you touch on so much that impacts that next generation of worker really does make a difference. So I can't thank you enough. So what would you say is the top few things that is on the horizon for GCC, whether it's around preparing the students, or what aspirational goals do you have for GCC over the next few years?
I have some crazy aspirational goals, but
I love it. I love it.
But I'll start with some goals that are just kicking off, some really cool things. We have a wonderful partnership with our sister college in the West Valley, Estrella Mountain Community College, and Microsoft. So as you know, there are 3 data centers that are being built in the West Valley. And so through this partnership with Microsoft, GCC and Estrella Mountain Community College, we have a data center academy. And that's really exciting. Let's talk about preparing the next layer of workforce for the data center academies. Another thing that makes me really proud is also, along with Estrella Mountain Community College, we are the only 2 colleges in our district that are recognized by the Department of Homeland Security as being centers of academic excellence for cybersecurity.
Nice.
Robert, as you well know, there are a tremendous number of vacancies in the cybersecurity world.
Absolutely.
Right? And so we have a robust, beautiful, rigorous program that'll prepare those students to enter into the labor market right away, or if they want to pursue their 4-year degree, this is the perfect place to do that. So that's something that's on the immediate horizon. I think long term, as a college president and just as an educator, right, a longtime educator, it is always my interest and goal that we are able to help students reach their academic dreams. And we are really focusing and being very intentional about what is it we can do differently, better. How can we help students reach those dreams? Because when we look at our data has opportunities. It has challenges, which, every challenge is an opportunity, right? So we have tremendous opportunities to look deeply at where the gaps are. When we look at our equity gaps, as an example, we are proudly a Hispanic serving institution. We're an incredibly diverse institution. And yet, all the students that come into us aren't always reaching their goals, whether that's a degree, a certificate, or a transfer to a university, or out to work right away. So something's happening. And so my crazy aspirational goal, right? Every community college does this marker where you track your first time new to college students in the fall, and we track them for 3 years. My goal is that 75% of those students who come to us are able to reach their goal, either degree, certificate, transfer, out to work. That's a big goal, Robert. The national average is like 37%.
Wow.
And we're quite a bit lower than that. So, and it comes from the belief and the centered around who we serve, and the incredible difference a college education makes in the student's life and in their family's life and in our community's life. And so if they come to us, and nobody wakes up one day and says, I'm going to go to college, right? They're here. So our job is to help get them through. It's a lot of work on both their side and our side, but I believe the GCC, we're here for the challenge because GCC cares.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And you know what? Shoot for the stars. Why not? Because we've only got one time in life, so you got to go as far as you can.
Go high.
Two other quick things is tell folks who may not know how many faculty and staff are actually a part of the GCC campus.
That's a great question. So we have 280 full-time faculty. That's incredible. I think the only other college that has more than that in the system is Mesa Community College. So we have 280 full-time faculty, probably 600 adjuncts, part-time faculty, probably another 500 staff on campus. So we are a very large organization.
It's a huge economic impact, and I love that you actually have leaders in industries as professors that are teaching courses and able to provide the real world experience from their life of running XYZ business into the classroom. So thank you for that. And then one other final question. Some people say, oh, well, you graduate high school. Some people take a year or so off to figure out what they're going to do, and then they go into college, or, and some may not go into college right away. One thing I think surprised a lot of people is the average age of your student. And would you share that?
Absolutely. So the average age of our student is roughly 25, 26. And you might, and so exactly to your point, Robert, we have a tremendous number of returning adults who come to GCC because they've stepped out into the workforce, or they realized, this is a job that I need to, in order to advance, I need to prepare. But something that really strikes me, and we hear a lot about this, is the jobs are changing. Anything that is repetitive will be automated. That means that if you are in a job that, eventually will be automated out, then you need to constantly reskill. It's this dilemma of lifelong learning, truly, because the jobs that exist today, many of the low-level repetitive jobs will be gone. And so come to GCC, learn a skill. We call it upskilling or new skilling, right? Be prepared to enter that labor market. Be prepared to be competitive in that labor market. And it's this ongoing cycle, not only for our students, but for ourselves as well. As future trainers, right? We touch the future through our students, and we want our students to be prepared.
I love it. I always tell people, don't be intimidated by it, so that when they understand that it's not someone fresh out of high school, some folks are already on their way and then found themselves back into the collegiate setting going through Glendale Community College. So anything I didn't ask you about that you want to share with those folks that'll be taking a look at this video today?
Yeah, absolutely. We are here to support our students, to support our community, because it's through service to our community that we're able to serve our students. And this is a place to come where you will feel welcomed, you will feel empowered, you will feel ready and prepared to enter and follow your dreams wherever they may be. We're here to help.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. You and I could probably talk all day about, that next generation of workforce and all the great things GCC is doing. Truly, as a Chamber of Commerce, we're fortunate to have a great partner like you. We definitely know what a world-class facility we have here in Glendale. Anything that we can do as a chamber to support you, champion education, advocate on behalf of education, we're here to do that. We're excited to have you serve on our board and look forward to you becoming our 22 chair of the board. And again, Terry, if there's anything that we can do, please let me know. Kudos to your entire team. I can't say enough good about your team, because the folks that you have there on campus, everyone that I've ever encountered has just been exceptional. So we're grateful, and our community is enriched because of your leadership and the commitment from the GCC team. So if there's any other closing thoughts, remarks?
Thank you, Robert. It's wonderful for me to have this great, strong relationship between the Chamber and the college. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your support of GCC. And this makes for a stronger Glendale and West Valley.
I couldn't agree more. And with that, thank you very much, Terry. We hope you have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll see you next time on Good Morning Glendale.